You are listening to the V-Cast.
And I'm back in the building. It's the fucking V-Cast. Number 84 with my boy Franco Danger.
84. That's a good number, baby.
84, baby. Is that what year you were born?
No.
He's like, no.
92. 92. Your boy's still youthful.
84. Still got that fucking glow.
I'm bald for show. That's it. That is, baby.
Ball for show, baby. That's right. That's what Clint Esposito calls a fucking poser. He doesn't like the fake baldies.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that, bro.
Like,
rock your Vegeta hairline.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If that shit's going
push it all the way back
out, nah, dude.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, man. What a fucking day.
Hell yeah.
That this turned out to be. I didn't even expect to be going up, but we're here at the Dojo of Comedy. Another great night of comedy. It's a 10:20. We're here drinking.
Yep.
Good shit. We just did sets. We're feeling good about it.
Popped off.
We made people laugh. It's a beautiful industry.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking excited. A lot of shit going on. I just got back from Austin, Texas.
Bro, I want to hear all about that shit. Danny called me.
Did he?
He called me. He
called
like,
you.
Yo, you're not gonna believe this shit. And I'm like, yo, what happened? He was telling me about the rain in the alley.
Let me tell you something. This is multiple points. Austin, Texas. Let me start off by this. You ever been to Austin, Texas?
I want to go so bad, bro.
Book it, bro. Just book it. Go for like a weekend. Make it like your own getaway or something, and stay for like a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and come back on Tuesday. Beautiful fucking time. The comedy scene out there is everything that everybody's talking about. It is. There's just comedy clubs everywhere. So Austin, Texas is like Montclair, but with sky rises.
Wow. Okay.
And a lot of homeless people.
Okay.
All right. That was the fucking shit I was saying at open mics down there. That Austin is so dope that you don't even need to book a room. You could just go down there and lay down anywhere you want. You could just sleep wherever. Funny. Nobody fucks with you.
That's
like
funny.
They're used to stepping over you.
Yeah.
If you're hungry, you just ask somebody for food and they'll give it to you. Like it's like because it's very liberal. It's a very liberal part of Texas. You know, so it's like a weird.
It's like a blue
mix.
bubble. Right, yes. I heard that. Yeah,
it's like a mix, but it's not just an empty. Like it's not just blue bubble. Like there's a lot of fucking red to clash with it. So there's a good balance.
Okay,
that's what makes Austin even better because
that's cool.
It's not lawlessness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not too progressive where you're like everybody should do whatever they want. Like there's still a little bit of.
So it's like Central Jersey.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like there's like some like the new generation's like, yeah, you can't say this anymore, but like their uncle's still like, what are you
their uncles are like, yeah, it's kind of like that.
And it's like, yeah, okay, yeah.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, there's always some like even if you're far left, there's always a far right within 20 meters.
Yeah. I like the balance. I like not to tip the scales too far in one direction.
It's never good.
And I feel Austin has a good center. You know what I mean? And there's so much to do. Obviously, the food is fucking great. Big hub for live music.
Yeah, I heard.
Like live music. And I've never been to a concert in my life.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah. I've never been to a concert. I've never had that musical connection. And one of the nights that I was there, I went to the Creek in the Cave, like one of the first nights I was there. Mm-hmm. And this guy opened with guitar, right? This guy, I think his name is like Dozer or something. I fucking hate that I get his name wrong. I ended up telling him later. I was like, bro, I've never like been into music. Like I listened to rap music growing up. Made me want to be a thug. That was like the connection I had with music. But the way he was singing songs and like he fucking connected with me. I was like, oh shit, music makes you feel like this. This is why people go to these concerts. I always just thought like, why do people go to fucking concert after concert? Like it's so crazy.
That's crazy you say that. Recently I've been craving loud music. I want to feel loud music.
Yeah, man. I would say you go in there, they're playing instruments in all the bars. Every bar has like a band going on.
Yeah.
Oh, most bars have open mic nights.
That's
like
crazy.
there people are doing bar shows. There's 4 comedy clubs in like a 2-block vicinity, like legit comedy clubs. There's Sunset, which is Brian Redband's. There's Comedy Mothership. There's the Vulcan, and then there's Creek in the Cave, and they're all like right there. And then there's all other, like bar shows. And so if you're just doing open mics every day, like you're there in the midst of it. And I stayed at a fucking hostel.
Wow.
Bro, people are like giving me shit about staying in the hostel. Everybody kept cracking jokes. And I was like, bro, why does everybody want to shit on my parade? Like they're like, you're going to get roaches. You're going to get,
it's a bed.
like you're going to get. It was everything that everybody said it was going to be. But it was very exciting. And the place that I stayed at was cool. Okay. Like even though there was problems, and I'll tell you about that. That shit is wild too. Okay. Like that. But I know we want to get No. I'll tell you here. Okay, I don't want to deviate from like the comedy
got you.
The comedy aspect. That's all just like random Texas shit. You know what I mean? And it's like Texas is fucking dope.
There's a horse in my room.
Almost. I seen a fucking horse fucking riding the scooters. They got mad scooters out in Austin.
Okay.
Like electric scooters. Bro, oh, that's a fucking.
My brain thought you were serious for a second. I was trying to picture it. Then 1 horse, 4 scooters.
They got more. They got fucking. I only saw 2 horses. They were at a red light as I drove by on a red light. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
They had a blinker on.
Just at a red light. Yeah, I was like, "This is crazy." He went like this when he went to turn. He put his fucking. He was real safe. No, but there's comedy clubs everywhere.
Okay.
That Comedy Mothership has like, it's a very touristy area.
Okay.
Like a lot of bachelorette parties.
Wow.
A lot of bachelor parties. A lot of people coming from overseas. I was very surprised by how many Asians there were at the hostel that were like legit fucking from China or from Taiwan.
Okay.
Like they just were traveling and they go by themselves and like people, that's where they go to hostels because you could talk to other people. You're not going to be alone and shit. And I was like doing shit with strangers. Like we were going for scooter rides. Yeah, bro. We went to go see like bats and stuff.
Damn.
It was pretty cool.
Went to go see bats?
Yeah, there's a bridge in Austin.
Okay.
Right? And there's bats that live under it.
Really?
And at night, at sunset, it's like a tourist attraction. Everybody goes and lines up on the bridge, and when they come out, it used to be like 30 million bats. Whoa. And they would come out, and it'd be like a spectacle. But because there's so much construction going on now in Austin, the population's down to like 3 million. But still, it's 3 million fucking bats.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so it just comes out. They're like, freaking, and then they go. But the time I was going, it was like there was overcast, so they like went out, and then we're like right back in.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't as cool as
they
like
weren't
the other
sure.
people. Yeah, they're like, psych. I was talking to these girls, and I had this bit going with them, like that they're down because we were waiting so long for them to come out, and I'm like, oh, they're probably downstairs, like they're probably performers, and they're downstairs like getting ready. They're like, oh, I can't wait to come out. Like, hey, Lenny, this time try not to swim too close to the river. All right, you're kicking up water in my face. Yeah, on the turn. You know what I mean? Like some fucking performers and shit. But everything is. It's like so much culture. Like there's everything is about like performance, music, art. That's what I meant. Like it's very artistic. Like everything is keep Austin weird. Like that's what they pride themselves on is like being weird and shit. Right? The fucking they don't like it.
Speaking of weird,
the ghosts don't like it here.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck, man. I want to go so bad, dude. I'm all about weird.
Yeah, that's what. Like that's. I was talking about it with people about going and shit, and then one day I was like, well, I wonder what tickets are like. And I looked at the tickets online. It was $188 for a round trip ticket.
Wow!
I just booked it.
Damn.
I just booked it. I was like, I'll figure everything else out afterwards, but I'm going there and then see what happens. People are like, you don't have spots set up? Like, are you gonna do shows? I'm like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I'm just going. I'm gonna be there. And my plan was to hit open mics and stuff, but I got a little bit touristy, especially like the first couple nights. Like the first night I was day drinking with Danny.
Okay.
Because we went to go get barbecue. So we had Terry Black's barbecue.
You told me about that too.
Yeah, the minute we got off the plane, like we like tell the Uber driver, where's the good barbecue? He was like, Terry Black's. We were like, take us there.
Wait, did you guys set up a flight together?
No,
Or
you know,
it just happened to be that way.
We talked about it, and then because Mike told him that I was going to Austin, and then since Bobby Kelly was going to be there, Danny wanted to go, and then he asked me what flight I was on, and then he just bought a ticket on that flight.
Oh shit!
So then we went. We went on the same flight. He was like right across from me. I fucking have a picture of him sleeping, like all fucking knocked out. And then then he had somewhere that he was staying, but we like met up for lunch and shit a couple times, but we always met up at night for comedy. I'm very happy Danny went down because I was going down like by myself. Yeah. And when I found out he was going, I was like, yes, it's nice to have a fucking.
Oh, and the best thing too, bro, is that Danny's one of those people that when he gets happy, he gets fucking happy, dude. He's like a puppy.
Yes.
And it's just, it brights you the fuck up.
He gets excited about shit.
Oh,
yeah,
my,
he gets
I
giggly.
Love that. Yeah, giggly as fuck.
Oh my God. Yeah,
That's just contagious.
I love it. Yeah, yeah, because it reminds me of like that wholesome feeling when you're, you know, like when you were a kid and you just had fun with your friends.
Exactly, dude.
You know, and it wasn't like fucking trying to be cool or trying to put like this or that on, you know, like you're just fucking having fun and being silly.
Dude, he would call me, like if he calls me, right, based on his energy, I would not be able to tell if he just won $5 million or if he has the funniest dookie joke he's ever written in his life. Using the word dookie.
Yeah.
Not even poop, shit, caca. No, he'd be like, dude, oh my God, bro, I found the best way to make the dookie. And you're like, what? 5 million? He's like,
yeah. Danny's a good kid, man.
He
fucking
love
makes me happy. Yeah, that's one of the few people I talk to on the phone.
Yeah.
Like have phone conversations with. Yeah, he's one of the few people I have phone conversation. He calls me and I answer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What's up, Danny?"
And you know, and it's never an empty call. It's never like just checking in on you. No, he doesn't want to. He doesn't give a fuck how your day's going.
He calls with a purpose.
He calls you and he's like, "Okay, eggs, yes or no?" And you'd be like, wait, "What do you mean eggs, yes or no?" He's like, "Benedict for me." And you're like, hold on, time out. What are you talking about? And then it'll just go, it'll off to the races, dude.
He's a class act, man.
Dude. I fucking love it.
Did he tell you what he did after his set?
No.
Oh my God, I'm gonna tell the story now.
Oh yeah.
Because he fucking his alarm went off in the mothership in the main room. Fucking kid has a great set.
Yeah.
And then gets off and his alarm rings during the show. And when everybody's phone is in those boxes, those I don't know what they're called. Otter? No,
I don't know.
I forgot what they're called. They're like and you keep them with you. It's like a little bag. It's a little bag and then it has like this thing on top, and you just go to your fucking. You have to turn your phone off and then you go to your seat with this bag in your hand. Yeah. And you just hold it. But you know what? It was real weird because I didn't know what time it was. I bought a ticket to the Brian Holtzman show. Okay. Right? Holtzman's Heroes. And I sat all the way to the side of the stage. Okay. And this was Saturday night. So there's no open mics yet, like for the mothership. All we did was like regular Creek in the Cave and Sunset and shit. And so I sat for the Brian Holtzman show, and they put your phone in the bag, and then like while you're waiting for the show to start, I'm like, what time is it? Like I don't, like it's so crazy that I didn't know what time it was. It was fucking driving me nuts.
That's wild.
You know, but you know what? It was good because then I was like really paying attention to what was happening out there. Like I was looking at the way they were. Oh, that's all right. Thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate it. The service here is impeccable. So I was paying attention to what they were doing, like how they were operating so that I could bring ideas back for here. Like I already talked to Mike about some things like making sure everybody wears t-shirts. Like they have t-shirts that says crew because it's a mothership. So like they're crew of the mothership. That's cool. So I'm like, we're the fucking dojo. Everybody should have shirts that say sensei or like instructor or something. You know what I mean? Like everybody should be, you should be able to know who the employees are. Yeah. And like the way like they had everybody line up before the show and checking tickets like they didn't check your tickets right away. They just checked your ID and put bracelets on. Then they came back later and then checked everybody in and sat everybody so you can get all the groups together. Okay. Because it's tough. Sometimes when people come in, they come in big groups, but they all bought individual tickets. And you're like, you didn't plan for the bigger group, you know? Okay. So, you know, they just did a whole lot of shit that I was like, damn, this is what a real pro club. Like this is... right next to the Comedy Store in the Cellar, like these are the 3 biggest clubs in the whole country, right? Yeah. I don't know, I'm pretty sure, like right as far as name wise and
the mothership,
and wanting to fucking play there,
bro. No one's heard shit about the store after the mothership. No one talks about the store.
I know, it's so fucking
I wonder what that's
weird.
looking like.
So I mean, it's still the store.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's still gonna have
legendary.
its legendary. I'm sure they have sold out shows.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't know if they're doing it, bro. Every show sells out for the mothership. Like it's
Oh, I'm sure.
so packed. The open mic, they sell out the open mic.
Wow.
They sell out the open mic, bro.
That's wild.
So they do a Sunday and a Monday open mic, right?
Wow.
And sign up is at 6:30.
Uh-huh.
And no, sign up's at 6, and then they put the list out at 6:30, right? And then the show starts at 7, and they sell it out, and then it's a 2-part show. So the beginning is an open mic, 15 comics, 3 minutes each, and then the second part of the show is the crew show, where they have like all the door guys and stuff like that. Then they go up, and then that's the end of the show. And then like the host is like a regular at the club. So you sign up for the open mic. There's no cap, so everybody could sign up. Then they just randomly pick names.
Oh shit!
And then they fucking put the list out. So 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, I go look at the list. No name. I'm like, fuck. All right, whatever. So I'm like pretty resigned to the fact that nothing was popping for me that weekend, you know.
Yeah.
And then I go, and then when you got to sign up for Kill Tony, you sign up in the alley in the back. There's an alley in the back of the mothership, and there's 125 comics, and they said it was a light day. That's usually like 200-300.
Wow.
Right. So this is 125 comics is a lot of fucking people cracking jokes at the same time. Like on everything that happens, everybody's reacting. Like some dude fucking dropped. He was sitting on his bike. On like a regular 10-speed bike with the thin tires.
Yeah.
And he was sitting on it eating, and we're standing on line in front of the door to the mothership. There's a cop right in front of the door, and we're standing on line waiting, and all of a sudden this dude just fucking collapsed out of my peripheral. He just hits the ground, food spills everywhere. Damn. And he just starts laying there. Everybody's like, "Are you all right?" The cop comes over checking on him. He's like, "Oh."
For real?
Yeah, he's like, but he was fucking, I don't know what he was on. He was hammered. And he just laying there.
Oh shit.
Like he looked like he didn't know what gender he was or anything. Like he had like black leather. There was so many characters. People that came with gimmicks.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? One guy wrapped his middle fingers up like this, so then he was walking around like this.
That's wild.
And bandages. Yeah, and everybody had the same reaction. They were like, Red Band came out and was smoking a cigarette and was standing there, and he walked by, and Red Band was like, "The fuck is this? Why are you doing this?"
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
And they were fucking. So you sit on that line, you sign up, you show them your ID, you sign your name, you put your Instagram handle, and then they give you that sheet, and then you get on another line, and on that line you give them the sheet, and you sign a waiver for your likeness to go on the YouTube and all that shit.
Okay.
And then that's it. That's at 6:30, and then you wait until the show starts. And the show starts at 8. And then at 8, when the show starts, they stand there and they call people out of the back through the loudspeaker.
Okay.
Right? And then so you're sitting out there and they're like, all right. And then all of a sudden you hear Tony Hinchcliffe's voice because it comes right from the stage. And he's like, all right, the next the comic's going to be boom. And he says the name and everybody looks around. The door opens immediately. Some guy comes out with the loudspeaker. They start calling the name, looking for the guy.
Whoa.
Bro, comics are cracking jokes. You know how hard it has to be to work at the mothership?
Oh, I bet.
And having to deal with all these fucking people right away that I'm so-and-so or I'm this, like a variation of the name. Like everybody's got a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Nobody's serious about anything. So this guy's trying to weed his way, find these people.
Oh, God, it's so annoying,
People
dude.
disappear and he's like running up and down trying to look for people.
Fuck that.
Yeah, man. So they did like 3 names. And on I think after the second name, actually, it started fucking raining.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It starts pouring. And we're like, fuck. So me and Danny Jews his way into to this fucking seat next to the guy that's selling drinks.
Okay.
Right? The guy has 2 coolers and a chair. So he has a cooler on one side of him, and then he has this big ass umbrella he's under. So Danny just goes and sits underneath it and sits under next to him.
Danny.
So I'm like,
Mr. Bean.
I'm
bro.
like, perfect. I go sit right on the other side of the guy. And I'm talking to this guy. But the fucking water's running down my back. And I'm soaked anyway.
Damn.
Right? So I'm like, fuck it. I get up and I stand. They call another comic. And I'm standing out there pouring. And I'm like, shit. They call another comic. And I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't take this no more, bro. This is I have Converse, Converse on.
Yeah.
Right? I'm soaked all the way through. I'm drenched. And then I was about to leave. And this little comic this fucking Jack Little comic who I was talking with and shit starts going on this like David Goggins, Jocko Willink rant about how like we're in the suck, but this is awesome. Like we're always gonna remember this. Yeah. And he starts doing one of those fucking speeches, you know, and he's just talking, right? Like he's not talking to anybody in particular. He's just talking and saying this shit. And I'm like, not that I believed him, but he distracted me long enough that I heard, and the next comic's going to be Vic Cedeno. And I was like, oh, shit. And Danny jumps up off the cooler and goes, I
fucking love Danny, dude.
It was the most wholesome thing you will ever see in your life. Oh, the way he reacted for me, I will never forget that about that kid.
Oh, my God.
That was pure, like,
joy.
Happiness and joy for me.
Dude. Yeah.
His hands were flailing, bro. And his knees were high. He was high stepping. They called you. And I was like, yes. He's like, you're gonna do great. He's like, are you ready? And I'm like, no, I'm not ready, bro. At that instant, I got like so excited, but it got immediately overwhelmed with fear.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh no, I can't believe that this is gonna happen to me right now. Door opens. I'm like, that's me. And they're like, all right. They tell me to put all my stuff in the bin. They have like a bus fucking bin. I empty my pockets. They're like, empty your pockets. They wand you down because security's fucking tight inside the mothership. Right? They wand you down.
It sounds like that takes forever. Like how long is that?
Bro, real quick. I emptied out my pockets. They wanded me. They brought me in. And I was like, hey, do I have a time to go to the bathroom? And they're like, nope. And I was like, all right, I'll hold it. And then I just wanted to go to the bathroom, look in the mirror, gather myself, maybe pee. But they're like, no, come here. Stand on this X. So I stood on the X.
Wait,
and,
is someone else on right now?
Yeah, the guy that was before me was on.
Oh, okay.
Unknowingly to me, because this is how in my head I didn't hear the roar of the crowd as the dude before me absolutely murdered.
Really?
Right? Murdered.
Oh, shit.
Right? I don't hear, like they're giving me instructions and stuff. They're filming me because they have like a backstage camera and shit. So they're like, you're going to be able to see all this backstage. They and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I start pacing on the X. Two steps. And I'm like, I don't remember what I'm going to do. And a little backstory, I had a minute that I had in my head. Okay. And I was trying it over and over again at open mics, and it just didn't give it to me.
Yeah.
Right. I kept doing it and it was like, but then it was like, it just left me up there. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't really have a close to this thing. So then the Wednesday before I left on Thursday, I did it at the open mic at Nikki's and I did it again. And then I did this other bit. And then I got off the stage and I told Clint Esposito, I'm like, damn, bro, that Chick-fil-A bit is like not doing it. I don't know how I'm going to do this on Kill Tony. He's like, well, don't do the other bit that you just did. And I was like, well, I was walking around with a 2-ton backpack on of pressure with this freaking stupid joke. And then when he said that to me, I was like, I just took the backpack off. And I was like, oh, you're right, bro. Yeah. That's so much better.
I know the feeling.
And instantly I was like, all right, I have something in my head. I'm going to run with that. So then fast forward back to me standing backstage. I'm like, well, how does that bit go? How does that shit go? And then, so now all of a sudden I tune in to what's going on. Kill Tony's telling this kid, you're going to be a star. He's like, you're going to be a star. Oh my God. You're amazing. He's like, we're going to put you on this show, this date at the mothership. Gave him 2 spots at the mothership right off the bat. And he's like, where are you from? He's like, I'm in Orlando, Florida. He's like, I'm going to be in Tampa on this day at this theater. And I want you on that show too. So I was like, fuck, bro. They gave him all the prizes. They're like, you're the best. He's like, you're by far the best of the night. And I'm like, fuck, I'm next, bro. Yeah.
And there's no prizes left.
Bro.
There's nothing left.
There's nothing left. Right?
Oh,
so
I'm
like, fuck. So he comes out. Right. And I'm like, oh, what's up? This kid Cam from fucking Orlando. Right. And he fucking wore sandals on stage. Right. Slides. Wow. And I gave him a fucking 5. I was like, yo, good shit, man. He's like, yeah, man, you got this. Good. Go get him. I was like, good looking out. He fucking bounced. And then I'm like, all right, here we go. They start talking and they're like, all right, the next comic is, and then they read the next name, and then like, up next is Vic Cedeno. And I fucking walk out. When I walk out, I'm in the fucking Fat Boy of the fucking mothership. I open up, that bitch is sold out. Fucking, and I'm like, I come out, bro, like fucking Doug Stanhope, Tony Hinchcliffe, Red Band.
You don't know it's Stanhope.
No, I knew we was Stanhope because we
okay.
saw him in the alley come through, and then he
okay.
told he came through, everybody cheered, and then he came back out and was like, "I just want you all to know that none of you are gonna make it. It's like, none of you are gonna make it, but have a great time."
That's
and
hilarious.
then fucking was smoking a cigarette. Went back inside. Everybody, he popped. The whole fucking place laughed. And then yes, and so I go onto the stage, right, and fucking feel the energy. Everybody's clapping and shit. And they're like, "All right, 60 seconds. You got 1 minute, and go." And when he said that, I turned to the crowd. Silence, bro, just dead silence.
But this is before
waiting.
you do a joke.
Before he says go, and I turn and look, and that 1 second felt like a long time. I really took that fucking silence in.
Yeah.
And then I went into my fucking shit, and I go da 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 punchline. And I was like, oh shit. Da 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 punchline. I was like, oh shit. Da 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 punchline. I was like, oh shit. I looked to the left, Stanhope.
No.
Tony Hinchcliffe. Like nodding, like
hell yeah.
and fucking Red Band like this. And I was like, last punchline. And then I was like, that's my time.
My man, dude.
And then bro, and I stopped and I was like, I looked at them and fucking Tony Hinchcliffe's like, all right, 45 seconds.
Oh shit.
Immediately Stanhope is like, 45 seconds, better to be under than over.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, thank you,
Hell yeah,
Stanhope.
dude.
And then fucking they started asking me questions, and then that part was a fucking blur. I choked so hard on the question of what do you like to do other than comedy? Dude, I had the golden opening to be like, I love watching pro wrestling.
Okay.
And connected with Tony on that. And I'm just like, I just do comedy.
I've seen people do that a lot.
And then even Tony was like, what else do you do? Like, because he knows. And I'm just like, I smoke weed. And he's like, all right, and what do you do when you smoke weed? I'm like, I just stare at the television. I don't even turn it on. I just stare at it. And then everybody fucking laugh. Like, I got saved.
That's dope.
I got saved. I was like, I don't even turn it on. I just stare at it. And he fucking laughed. Yeah. And then they were like, all right, what about a relationship? Are you in a relationship? And I'm like, I'm divorced. And Tony's like, oh, what happened? And then I'm like, I did a fucking bit. I did one of my bits when he asked me that. And I'm like,
I don't blame you.
Like, yeah.
Get it all in there.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Get it all in there. I was
like,
get that 15 seconds.
I got my 15 seconds back.
That's the cash back.
Yep. I was like, I'm divorced. And he's like, what happened? And I'm like, I found out she was cheating on me with 3 guys. And he was like, oh. And then the whole crowd was like, oh. And I fucking, as theatrical as I could be, turned to the crowd. I was like, hold on. I was like, I'm lying. She's a very nice girl. I just say that so you guys take my side of the story. And they all fucking laugh. And Stanhope goes, ha! Yeah. He's funny. I gotta piss. I guess something walks out.
That's hilarious.
I was like, fuck. And then that was it. I don't know. He asked me a couple other things and fucking
that's so
walked
dope,
off stage. And he gave me the notebook. He was like, hold on, let me grab that shit.
Oh, you got it?
I got it.
Shit.
I'm not fucking around. I got it.
Oh shit. We're gonna cut to the clip. Right here.
That's it.
Damn.
Little leather notebook. It's like handcrafted by Bonsai.
Bonsai. I've always listened to the podcast. I never watched it.
Yeah.
KT. Yeah. I mean, I've
seen like clips.
Yeah, I watched it a couple times. Kill Tony. That's pretty dope, man.
But they got like, I was checking out the community online because I'm like waiting for this to drop.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I joined the Facebook group, the Kill Tony Facebook group, because then I want to see what everybody talks about afterwards. Yeah. I hope I don't get fucking murdered in the comments.
I mean,
but whatever.
It doesn't matter, man.
No, it doesn't matter. It was like, what it did for me, it was like re-energized me.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I'm like so excited. Now I'm like so excited about that bit. Now again because I'm like, oh man, that's like it's good. It's dependable.
Yeah.
All right, I did it again tonight. The fucking bit about my name. Like that.
That's the bit you did?
That was the bit I did.
Well, your name? Okay.
Yeah, my name. Okay. Like and growing up around black people and white people and shit. Like that was the bit I did, and every fucking punchline, all 4 of them fucking landed fucking hard. Like the whole crowd laughed, and then the best part about it afterwards, you know, you go outside, there's like some dude that does a podcast and he interviews you. I will talk to that kid Cam that went before me. I was like, you fucking took all the prizes. Because everybody knows, like, if you do good, you get the notebook.
Yeah, the big
right?
notebook.
And then when you come out, they're all looking at your hands.
Oh, okay.
Right? To see what you got.
Yeah.
So like there was like 3 kids that came out before that came out with nothing. And everybody's like, oh, how'd it go? He was like, they were like, I'm like, all right, whatever. And then fucking Cam came out, and I told, so when I came out, I put the notebook in my back pocket, and then I put the gun. They gave me this fucking airsoft gun,
Okay.
like a glow in the dark airsoft, like a
Yeah,
really
the
nice
gel blaster.
fucking gel blaster. Yeah. Some fucking. I guess they're a sponsor or something. But they gave me that, so I come out with it on the side, and I'm like, and as soon as I open the door, fucking Danny is standing right there.
I bet.
With his grin. He's like, "How did it go?" And I was like, and he's like. And like I let him have that one pause of doubt where he was like standing with his mouth open. Then I reached back and took out the notebook, and he was like, "Yeah!" He fucking lost it. He was like, "Yes!" Then this dude came running over to. He's like, "Hey, you want to do an interview with us?" Because they have like this podcast where they interview the people that do the Kill Tony, like as soon as they come off stage and ask them about it and shit. So I did that interview. And then Danny's like, all right. I was like, you want to leave? And he's like, yeah, all right. So Danny's like, bring me back to Creek in the Cave so you can get a ride back home. I'm like, all right. So we walked to Creek in the Cave, met up with these girls that we met online, and I start walking with them back to the strip, back to the fucking bar. And then as we're leaving the Creek in the Cave is off of 6th Street, which is where the main street is. So Creek in the Cave's on 7th. So 7th isn't as busy as 6th. 6th is like the party central where all the bars are. So we get down to 6th, make a right, and I start walking on 6th. And what had happened was Kill Tony let out.
Okay.
Right. So all the audience that was at Kill Tony is out in the streets, and I'm walking through them, and they're like, "Oh man, you had a good set. Oh, that was such a great job, man. Oh, you were my favorite. Oh, like, and I'm walking with these girls.
That's dope. Yeah. Oh boy. Yep.
Bro, the whole street down. I was like, this is. Then we found, like, we went to this bar and talked to the bartender, and I put my notebook and my gun on the thing, and he's like, "Oh, you did Kill Tony, man?" I was like, "Yeah, I did it." He's like, "Good shit, man. You got the notebook." He fucking bought me a beer.
Wow.
He's like, I go to the show every time I get a chance.
That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, they love comedy down there.
Yeah.
Bro. They
So like
fucking
that
love
town,
it.
like that town really embraces Kill Tony is like their fucking.
It is, but you know what it is too? It's just that there's a lot of tourists.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of tourists that come, like Joe Rogan himself has just brought a lot of tourism down.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people are just going for the mothership experience.
It's crazy, bro.
It was one of the coolest like experience. This is the first time I ever went on like a vacation by myself.
Okay.
Too, which I really like wanted to get away, and then just being down there, bro. The scooters, they got electric scooters everywhere. Right, so they just laying everywhere, and you can go on your Uber app and find them. They'll show you where the nearest scooter is. You can walk up to it, scan it, activate it, boom, turn it on, and just drive away on the scooter. So I spent so much money on fucking scooters because I was doing all my sightseeing on the scooters everywhere. I went to go meet Danny for lunch. I Wazed it, see how far it was. It was like a 20-minute ride in a car, and I did the fucking scooter. So it was like a 25-minute ride in the scooter at 50 cents a minute. So it's like, and I just had, I looked at my fucking credit card thing, and it just all the Uber little dings.
Yeah. Scooters.
I added up. Yeah, I probably spent like $100 and something on scooter.
That's
just
not
scootering.
crazy.
No, you kidding me?
It'd be a lot more if it was Uber.
If it was just Ubering everywhere, it was. I did the comparison. A lot of the times, the scooter was a little bit more expensive because it took longer.
Okay.
And the Uber would just be quick. It'd be just like a zip there, and it would be like around the same price. But I like the fucking shit blowing in my hair.
Yeah.
That's how I saw the horses.
Oh,
I was fucking scootering. I round the corner, I make a left, and as I'm going down, all of a sudden I see the fucking people on horses. I'm like, holy shit, these fucking people are at a stoplight.
Yeah.
With horses.
That's crazy, man. Dude, that's so fucking awesome, bro. That's so yeah, and I agree. Like Danny's the perfect guy to be there with for that moment. No one else is gonna be happier for you.
Oh my God, it was so like genuine.
Yeah, he'll be happy. Like, there's been times I forget what it is, what they were specifically, but I remember there being a time where something really dope happened, and I told him about it, and he was like, "Oh my God, that's fucking crazy!" Like on the phone, he's like, "You're not bugging out right now," and like, and I'll be there like worried because it's like a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, I think.
He brings the joy out of you.
But I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to fuck this up. But he's like, oh my God. He's just like, bah, the same thing. And you're like, yeah, I should be more like how you're feeling, Danny.
Yeah.
But I'm worried. I don't want to flub it.
He makes you not, almost like he takes like the pressure off. Like, yeah, it's a high pressure situation, but damn, this is so cool.
It's like a reminder to be like, hey man, it's like, remember to be happy. You know, remember to be fucking to like, this is a dream. This is fun as fuck. What we're doing is cool as shit. Stop and smell the roses. Stop and smell the roses, bro.
Yeah. Danny's a stop and smell the roses guy.
Rest in peace, Danny Braff, man.
Oh my God.
This is like a Danny Braff appreciation. God forbid. I gotta say God forbid. God forbid. One of my best friends.
Yeah.
One of my best friends.
I got a lot closer with him. Like, just for me, like seeing like exactly how you said, how and he's not like, you know, some people could just make things all about them all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he even with all the stuff that goes on with him, like he never like changed. Like if you talk about something that you did, you know how sometimes you talk about something you did and somebody has to talk about something that they did like immediately after. It's like he never does that.
Nah, he wants to know like, holy shit, how'd it go?
He lets you sit in it.
What's the story?
Yeah,
I want to know. Yeah,
exactly what you were saying. He lets you sit in it and enjoy your moment instead of being like, "Well, this is mine too." You know,
I had somebody fucking one up me.
One upper, yes.
On Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was on Wednesday, bro. It was so weird. Someone asked me how the Gethard Fest was going, and before I could finish, like, because I was like, "Yo, it was crazy." I'm never one of those people where I'm like, I deserve to be there. I'll listen to Wu-Tang on the way there and tell myself I deserve to be there. But deep down, I'm like, I'm just trying to convince myself.
Yeah.
I'm always like, this is crazy. Like, it's almost like, you know, I'm lucky, all this shit. And I'm trying to explain this. And I'm like, it was so dope. Had a lot of fun, blah, blah. And immediately someone else was like, oh, you know, this person's doing this? And everyone's like, oh, yeah? And I was like, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, all right, talk about that then.
All right, yeah, whatever.
They're not even here.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Not even you.
Not even you.
You want to one up me with somebody
else's shit.
And it was just like, this is very weird. And it was very like, it was almost deliberate. And I was like, okay, I see how you're moving, dude.
You know what?
It's
It's fucked up. It's like, it's deliberate, but it's also subconscious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably don't even know they're being a hater.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, if you point them out on it, it's like, oh shit, this fucking guy shot me with the fucking water gun.
Shit.
The fuck
I hope
was
that was water.
I know.
That shit got my whole head, dude.
Semen guns. And then they giggled.
Oh!
The laptop! It's electrocuting
That's
me.
your gel blaster?
Yeah. No, that's just water. He's just coming on us.
That's funny. Yeah, dude. But yeah, no. Some people get like it sucks.
Yes.
I've noticed some different movements recently, and I'm like, oh, this is weird.
But then you like wonder, like, is that something they're suppressing?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, like, because it's coming out kind of subconsciously. Because like if you call them out on it, they won't even.
That alarm hit me. So.
It did. Oh
yeah,
man,
that's wild. Everything's squirting, bro.
Down there. I'm a squirter. Like, you know, like I feel like some people don't even know they're like haters. They're just They're just like,
that sucks, dude.
It's subconscious disgust for themselves.
Yeah,
you know, because a lot of people, like I did a lot of inpatient programs. Right, I got sentenced to jail. And instead of
inpatient.
jail, I went to like therapeutic programs.
I thought you said inpatient programs.
Like I was
no patience.
Yeah. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, inpatient. Like I was, I did 6 months of fucking rehab inpatient. Then I did 6 months of outpatient.
Okay.
And then I did extra time just in therapy and shit. And I never considered myself before that as an angry person. I never thought. I actually thought the opposite because I like to tell jokes.
Yeah.
I always thought myself as a happy person, but my jokes were sarcastic. My jokes had like a fucking razor hidden in them.
Okay.
You know, where like I'm
Yeah.
saying shit, but I'm joking, but I'm actually trying to cut you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I had a lot of resentment deep down, which made me act out outside of my normal behavior and like it gave me the fuck it's and had that kind of attitude to it. And I didn't know that until I did work, until I did fucking therapy and worked on that shit. So I think there's a lot of people that walk around with like unresolved childhood trauma, unresolved issues of shit that happened to them, and then they take that shit out on other people and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
They don't even know it to the point where they make themselves the victim. Like if you call it out on them, then you're like they'll flip
They're like,
it.
"Nah, fuck you, man."
Yeah, and then make you like the culprit for exposing their truth.
Yeah.
You know?
But they're calling you a piece of shit, and they're like,
Yes.
"You motherfucker, why you saying that shit about, you know?" But rather than taking ownership.
And that's how it comes out, with backhanded comments, talking shit about people behind their backs.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you know, I always pay attention to that. Like if I'm talking or around people that are talking shit about other people that aren't there, I'm not talking about jokes. When we're joking, if we start making fun of fucking Pedro and Jesse, we're not talking shit about them.
Yeah, no.
We're just clowning.
We would make fun of them even more if they were here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? But other people will like say
fuck.
shit. Yeah.
Short
Yo,
fucks.
short bastards. Neither of you can ride rides.
Coming from the tallest Latinos at the dojo. We're punching down.
But like that's not talking shit about them. You know what I mean? Like that's not malicious. But other people like put people down.
Yeah.
And like, and when I see people do that, I'm like, I take notice. And I'm like, all right, you're doing that about Franco when he's not here. Like, what are you doing when I'm not around?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know what you're kind of getting. Then I just keep those people at a distance. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't need to confront everybody about what they are and who they are. I just know to treat you different.
Yeah.
Than everybody else.
I'm the same way. I had a like back in the day, like there was we had like a big group of friends, right? And then I saw one dude was moving in a really weird way, bro. He was like, I don't know if you had this in your group of friends, but it was that like as soon as one of your boys broke up with a girl, he's pulling up for that rebound. The fucking Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman's
the Dennis Rodman of fucking girlfriends. And I'm like, this is weird. And like, he tried to start a relationship or like a friendship with your girl while you were dating him. And I remember like one of my boys broke up with this one girl, and then like at the next party, he was trying to make out with her like in the backyard and shit like that. And I was like, oh, this is who you are. And then I go, okay, I'm not gonna start beefing with you.
Yeah.
Right. But now I know where to put you.
Yeah.
Now I know like, oh, okay, I can go to a party with you, no problem. You're my ride. But I know you're a snake. I know you're a fucking snake.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, okay, I'll put you there. And it's the same thing. And it sucks that sometimes it's like that with certain people. And sometimes it sucks to learn the hard way. Because I'm very like, I'll give them benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Way too many times. You know? But then I'll be like, oh, that's who you really are.
But you know what? And I try to tell my daughter this too. Like, I spent a lot of my like upbringing. Like I'm a very happy-go-lucky, trusting, I would even say gullible, maybe naive to like people's intentions and things.
I'm naive as fuck.
Yeah, and and my family is from the Bronx. Like my mom's family is from the Bronx, so everybody's a fucking thug.
Yeah.
And
Don't
that
trust
whole
nobody.
yes, DTA, don't trust anybody, right? They're fucking. And so I felt like I clashed with my own personality because I was like fighting my instinct of being happy and being nice to people. Instead, like then I built this like exterior where like I don't want to smile, and like I don't want to be like everybody always saw I got resting dick face, you know, like. Like I look like I'm like I'm just angry or something, you know? And it's like I'm being serious because I need to make sure nobody fucks with me and nobody's gonna try to take advantage of me. But that's not my persona. My real persona is to put myself out there. And if somebody takes advantage of me, like, that's your problem. That's a reflection of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all right, yeah, you might get over on me, you know, but
It's not gonna fuck me up.
you're not gonna fuck me up. I'm
Yeah.
still me.
Yeah.
You're gonna just be whatever nasty person you are.
Yeah.
You know? And like ever since I started doing that, like that's been, you know, and it's still hard. Like I still have that like I need to be cool attitude a lot of times, and it's hard for me to break. Like I want to be silly. Like my type of personality is like Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fucking
Silly.
I like
bitch.
making faces and saying stupid shit. You know, like
Yeah.
like fucking.
I'm with you. Yeah.
You know, but you can't do that and be tough.
Yeah.
Right, so I've been trying to like think about this new idea. Like you can't be a thug and skip. You know, like I wanted to be a thug so bad, but you can't be skipping down the street. Nobody's gonna take you seriously. You know,
Yep.
and that was like I always had that class, so that's why I never felt like I fit in anywhere. I didn't fit around the white kids because I listened to fucking rap music and I knew about drugs and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I never fit around with the black kids because I like to smile and play Power Rangers.
Okay.
You know, like
No, we're very similar. We're very similar. I was like that, like growing up too. It was like in the beginning, I think from like kindergarten to 8th grade, it was like, all right, we got to push down the Latino-ness because it's all white people. It was like fucking 5 Latinos fucking from kindergarten to 8th grade. And I remember, do you remember those shows on, what channel was it? I think it was E, where it was like, I love the 90s, I love the 80s, I love the 70s. Remember those shows?
yeah.
I remember like studying I love the 80s and the 70s because when I went over to my friend's house who were white, I had something to say to their parents. I used to be like, make a little reference, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, be like, are we playing with that again? I'm like, it's better than a pet rock. And then they'll be like, oh, well, this kid's pretty cool, you know? And I'll be like, okay, cool. I can impress them or whatever. I get to high school and like, I remember the first period, there was 2 Latinos talking to each other in Spanish. And I was like, yo, you don't got to talk Spanish. Your parents aren't here. Why are you talking Spanish? And they're like, we barely talk English.
Yeah.
Like, this is how we all are. And then they're like, okay, you're white as fuck, dude. And I'm like, oh, no.
And they make you feel bad about it.
So I'm white as fuck for the Latinos, and then for the white people, like,
Yeah,
I
you're getting
tend to be
racism on 2 ends.
Yeah, it's weird. It was weird.
See, that is like my entire upbringing, and it was like I didn't talk. I wanted to talk Spanish. I understood it.
Yeah.
Right, because my mom talked to me in it. My grandmother, like everybody talked to me in Spanish, so I understood it. I just always talked back in English.
Yep.
Because anytime I talked back in Spanish, they'd make fun of me for my Spanish.
Yeah.
So I never had space to like grow. I never had space to practice except when I got older in high school. And then I had Spanish class, and I was with all the white kids, but we were learning like Spain Spanish, like proper Spanish.
Shit that no one says.
Yes, like vosotros and all that shit. You know, like, what the fuck does
the
that
fuck
mean?
is
What
that,
is a vosotros?
dude?
I don't know. Never heard it. I heard nosotros used, but I never heard vosotros.
Yeah.
And like some, you know, everything in Spanish is all like formal and informal and male. It's like such a conservative language. And I never in school I did just enough. Like I knew just enough Spanish from growing up and learning like a little bit in class that I could negotiate a deal with the teacher who was a real hard ass. And she was like, "Listen, you could put your head down and sleep in class. Just don't disrupt the class for everybody else, and I'll just give you your F." And we don't have to fight all year long. Like she really tried. She came at me in the beginning of the year with this deal.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, that sounds fine. You could fail me at the end of the year and I'll sleep through class. So I slept through all classes and she never bothered me.
Wow.
And then midterms and finals, I knew just enough to get B's on the fucking midterm and finals, and then she couldn't fail me.
Yeah,
then I got like a
dope.
D or C minus or some shit like around there. I made just enough to move on to the next year, but I got to sleep all year long. But that was like an example of somebody knowing how to talk and deal with a rowdy student. But she used to throw me out of class. I would get up and just walk across the desks and leave. Like, yeah, see that's what I'm talking about. Like the anger.
Yeah.
Right. And I try to tell my daughter that, like, listen, you're going to be silly. She's just like me. She's a character. Everything has to be about attention and making everybody laugh and doing bits and shit. And I'm telling you, you're going to get in trouble for that because you're always going to do shit when it's not the time to do it. And that's fine. I'm never going to scold you for that's your personality. be who you are. Just when you get in trouble, don't be a dick. That was my problem.
Yeah.
I always had to have an attitude. I always needed to make it, try to embarrass the teacher. I tried to like clown them. Like it was always about like one-upping them and shit. I had a history teacher that I would walk into class and he'd hold the disciplinary slip. He looked like Mr. Burns, right? But he had a big belly. He was skinny with this big belly, and he had the Mr. Burns hair. Okay. And he was like, "All right, Victor, Mr. Smith. All right, Victor, it's already written out right here. The disciplinary slip. It's already filled out. Let me know when you want to go." Like he wanted, let me know when you want to go. Let me know when you want to go. Like he's getting ready to send me to the office. That motherfucker would have it filled out already. Like that. Like, but that was the attitude of it. Was like, I'm a dick.
Mine was a little different, dude. My shit was like, I used to fuck with the teachers to the point where they're like, all right, man. But like, I was Likeable? Like, I was inspired by Bugs Bunny.
Really?
But like, you might like find me really annoying, but you gotta love me.
Yes.
Like it'll be like, oh, like fucking. Like I don't think I've ever gotten like kicked out. I think I've got sent to the principal once, but like,
see, that's what I try to tell.
Because it would be like, all right, you're not gonna say anything else, and blah blah blah. And I'd be like, okay, and like whatever, and like out of nowhere, it'd be like, okay, and then it'd be like, all right, stop. But it was stupid. I remember one time in a fucking in health class, it was like weight training or whatever, and our gym teacher was teaching us like this is the proper way to lift weights, and it's just like a little tiny ass gym with like hand me down equipment or whatever, and he's like, this is how you deadlift, and he went to go grab the bar, and I went. As he went to go grab the bar, bro, everyone starts laughing, and then like he's like, "Stop it!" But he's like trying not to crack up too. And then I was like, "All right, sorry." And then he went for the first one, and I went like every time he went down, and then he's laughing, but he's like, "All right," and he let go of the bar, and he's like, "For real, I don't want anyone to get hurt." And I was like, all right, you got it, sir, yes, sir. And I was always like that, like I know where to like to stop, but I was always trying to be lovable about it.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I did like, the teacher got really pissed because they were like, somebody was on his phone, on their phone. I didn't have my phone on me, but I pretended I did. And then she's like, that's it. And she walks up to me, she's like, give me your phone. And then she leaned over I had it like pretending I had it under the desk. And like I remember I got the whole class because she was like, that's it, I said no phones, and she's walking towards me. I remember friends being like, and I'm like this and acting like I didn't hear it, and then when she's like, give me your phone, and I was just like twiddling my thumbs, and I was like, what? And then she's like, and, like and walked up, and then everyone's like laughing, and I was like, what happened? And I was like, it was my thumbs.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like that, I would do shit like that. And then, but just take it too far. Like, just the like, reaction.
Like if she checked for your phone, it'd be a middle finger.
I'd be a middle finger or something. Yeah. Like I had to be a fucking dick. We had this substitute. I made her have a nervous breakdown, and
kids love fucking with substitutes.
Yeah, she didn't come around for a while.
Damn. And
then she came back, and she was different.
Okay.
Like she used to be very antagonistic.
She was black now.
Yeah, like she came back, shit. Then black. She's like, I ain't taking this shit no more. I ain't taking this shit no more from you, little white boy. No, she fucking she was like an art teacher. And what I would do is no, it wasn't the art teacher. It was I think it was a history. Whatever it was. Yeah. She was just a substitute. And I came from art class. And what I did was I took a box of number 2 pencils and I sharpened them all. Right? Okay. Like 10 pencils. So I sat there, and during class, I'm sitting in the back, and as she's talking, I'm taking pencils and just flinging them up and sticking them in the ceiling.
Yeah.
So I got 1, I got 2. Then I got all the way up to like 6 or 7. And then she was writing on the board, and then she turned around to say something, and she was like, she looked up. She was like, what are you doing? Yo, she got so angry.
Really?
And I wasn't being a dick. I'm just giggling in the back, throwing them shits up. But then when she turned around and saw all of them, I was like at the end of the box. I was like at 8. There was like 8 or 9 pencils into the ceiling. And then she and what caught her eye was that I was just about to fling, and she turned around, and then she was like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, damn.
Why? And she just went into like this fucking lunatic rant and lost it, and then just like walked out of class.
Oh,
and then we were all sitting there, and then the fucking kid next to me leans in. He goes, "I think you broke her."
Oh shit! Damn,
and everybody after that was like my claim to fame in school. They were like, "You broke her. You fucking broke. She fucking left class." She just walked out on me, bro. Dude, I was such a dick.
Great. No, my maliciousness. All right, so like, there was always this one. There's always like, it was always a bit. Like, you know how sometimes like you pick on the kid, you just crumble the paper, you throw it at him, right? And then you just keep throwing a piece of paper at him, and then he's like, "What the fuck?" And everyone's like, "Oh, ha, ha, ha," right? Some bully shit, right? Mm-hmm. My thing was, I start off with a really small, tiny piece of paper, and every throw it's a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. But I made sure it was on the kid in the front, and I did this in the math class where I was like, "Okay, a little tiny paper." And then I was like, every time people see a paper in the air, it's just gonna get bigger. How funny is that, right? How fucking funny is that, right? So I'm crumbling it up, and this kid looking around. He's like, "What the fuck?" It's just small little, not even a spitball, but just spitball like type. Boom, 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 and then at this point, I think I'm like 4 pages in. Where I'm like, it's like a big ball. I go to chuck it right at his back. Teacher's not looking, and then everyone's like giggling because they're like, "This is so stupid." And then I was like, there's nowhere else to go. So then I went to go grab my notebook. And then he like peeked over a little bit and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, What? And then, because this was a kid that no one really picked on. He just happened to be just the kid that was in the front of my row. Right? And I never seen anyone pick on him. I'd never seen anyone fuck with him before. He was just a chill dude. I forget his name. But he just stood up, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? Throw another, like, one of them fucking pieces of paper at me. I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to fuck." And I was like, "Oh, shit, yo, my bad, dude." And then the teacher turned around. She yelled at me. She fucking left the class. And then I was like, she moved my seat, and then I just turned around, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, bro. I was just being a dick." You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to get someone to that point, but I just thought it was funny to make that little piece of paper get bigger and bigger, because I'm like, that's a bit, it's a bit. But exactly. I felt so bad, bro. I never fucked with anybody, really. I never fucked with anyone like that much.
I used to fuck with people, and then here's a weird thing. I used to fuck with people, and I didn't like. I told you I got picked on, right? I moved from Hackensack to Carlstadt, and I was like the only Spanish kid in fucking town, so I used to get picked on a lot.
I work in Carlstadt,
right? And then so I moved out of there, and I moved to Hasbrook Heights. It was a lot more diverse, and it wasn't that it was more diverse. People weren't as that shitty, like they were in fucking Carlstadt. But I moved there, and when I moved to Hasbrook Heights, like that being shitty to people kind of stuck with me, and like I was doing that for attention from other people. Like I would clown somebody, but I would never do it like maliciously where I was trying to hurt somebody's feelings. It was like fucking, I forgot who it was. Jesse was like, the way you bully people and still make them like you is so fucking weird to me. Like I don't know how you do that, where you like he sees how I fuck with like the staff here and shit. He's like, you have a way of bullying people and still making them like you. And he's like, it's so fucking odd. And I'm like,
it's a gift and a curse, dude.
Yes, because it's like I grew up doing that to a lot of people, but I was always empathetic about how they felt. That's why
100%.
Because I know how it felt to me. I'm a very empathetic person. I am very conscious of my behavior and how the things I do make other people feel. So like I try not to do things that's gonna make other people feel uncomfortable. It's just like my nature, like I'm going to park away so that I make sure nobody else is going to be affected by how I park.
Everything.
Everything. So like I'm very empathetic in that. So when I'm making fun of people, I also know that it's making them feel bad. So I want to do something that also makes them feel good.
Yeah.
That I don't hate you because I'm making fun of you, but it didn't always come off like that.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Look at this ugly ass motherfucker with a big dick. You're like, the guy's like, "Oh, okay, all right, I'll let it go." No, I think you probably, because we have that same like instinct, you probably also know who you can pick on and who you can't pick on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go,
So if
okay.
I know somebody's fragile, like we had this kid in our school. His name was Danny Wiener.
Okay.
All right,
Oh,
bro. You know how
fuck, man.
bad it was for him, and I don't know where Danny Wiener is these days.
Shout out to Danny Weens.
Danny
bro.
Weens, bro. But in my mind, I'm pretty sure he's gay. I'm pretty sure he came out as gay later on because he was very effeminate.
I'm trying so hard.
Right?
now,
He was
man.
very effeminate. Bro, it was very hard. Like, I joked on Danny a lot,
Yeah.
but never viciously. Never where I was like, you're a fag or something like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah.
know, like, it was always like, I never made him feel like he was a bad person
Yeah.
when I made fun of him. I would make fun of how high he wore his pants.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no need for your belly button to be covered by your jeans.
Yeah, yeah.
Type of shit, you know, like that stuff, or the way he talked, because he had like a very like like a honk, like kind of voice, right? So he had like 3 strikes against him. It's like you look at him and you're like, oh, you're a little, you know, back in the day, you're like a little funny, right? Then like you hear his name and you're like, oh, you're really funny. And then like he talks and you're like, bro, get away from me.
And then you
Like,
see his pants. And you're
yeah, like the
damn.
whole setup was like a big weird thing. But you know, like that was somebody that I also would talk to and not joke with. I would also be nice to them and like make it so like, hey, you know, I don't hate you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not like I hate you type of thing. It's just you're funny.
Yeah.
And I like to crack jokes on you.
Bro, there was this one dude that's crazy, bro, thinking about it now. Like, thinking about it now with my adult brain, there was this one kid in high school, dude, who dated a girl. Everyone's like, he's gay, right? Everyone's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gay. But then he's like, no, he has a girlfriend. And this girlfriend was cute as fuck, dude. She, like, I had a big-ass crush on her, right? And then I forgot what class I had with him. And I would always see him in passing because he was at a higher grade than I was in high school. And then I was like, wow, okay, he's got a girlfriend, he's not gay, whatever. And then, you know, it's a small high school. So people just need to talk, something to talk about. So for the week, it was, he's got a girlfriend, I thought he was gay. And people were like, no, he's not gay, he's got a girlfriend. Okay, I guess he's not gay. And then I remember I was in class, I think first or second period, this motherfucker comes in with an iced coffee in high school, and that's wild. In our school, we're like, hold on, we can't get juice, Snapple, nothing, no iced tea. This motherfucker walks in with an iced coffee, crosses his legs, puts his iced coffee in his fucking desk, and he greets the teacher like they've been best friends forever. He was like, "Hi, Mrs. G, how you doing?" Blah, blah, da, 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 da. And then she's like, "Well, I'm doing great. I'm blah, blah, blah." And I don't know why I made him black, by the way. How you doing, Mrs. G? How you doing, Mrs. G? No.
You gotta fill the corners, bro.
Blue eyes, blonde hair, fucking iced coffee, fucking
Oh my God.
puts it there and just fucking gets ready for class. And I'm like, yeah, no, he's got a girlfriend. He's not gay. But then he finally came out and we were like, oh, yeah. See, we
See,
fucking know.
and you know, I get it.
But it's it also did suck that he had to like hide it.
For sure.
And I hated that, bro. Because I remember at that time being like, yo, I don't know any gay people. And in my head, I'm like, I want to know one. I want to get to know one. I was always curious. My whole thing growing up, and it's always been like, I love people who had like people who have a completely different story than I do. I love fucking with those people. I love talking to them. I love bouncing from cliques. I did that a lot in high school.
Always, 100%.
I'm like, what are you guys into? You guys into fucking robotics? Oh shit, let me see about this. I did the chess club for a while, and I was like, let me see what these people are hanging out with, or what are they talking about? I love that shit, and I wanted to fucking meet a gay dude. I remember thinking like, I want to fucking, what's that about?
Yeah.
Like, let me learn about that shit. But then like also it was like, I don't want to tell that to people because then they're gonna like, back then it's you get made fun of for being gay.
Yeah.
So it's like I understood the pressure in a different way. From a straight dude being like, I want to talk to him. I want to see, like, I want to know what the fuck that's all about. Like, that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
It just
I was
sucked.
always in like a multitude of groups.
Yeah.
I was in a lot of different groups, but like my main group was made up of people that weren't involved in any other groups. Like we were all like the outcasts.
Yeah.
But we also all were friends with the football players. We were also friends with the fucking musicians.
Yeah. I had a group
Friend,
like that.
right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like all of us artistic people were kind of like amalgam.
Yeah. I love learning about that shit. I love learning about all types of different people because it's also like, let's see if my humor translates over to this. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, like I know I can joke about superheroes and video games with you, right? And then I go into a different clique where they're like, all right, now we're all about like talking about mental health. And I'm like, oh shit, I fuck with that too. I've had my eras where I did like some deep dives. Let's learn about this shit. Let me see if I can, talk to them about that. It's not really a culture about like people don't sit around the TV and watch mental health. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, you can watch Hoarders.
you can watch Hoarders.
You can watch Hoarders.
Fucking.
That's some mental.
That's some fucking
yeah,
real
yeah,
mental health struggles. But I feel like that's like a representation of how everybody carries baggage.
Yeah.
And you just carry too much of that shit, and now you got roaches.
Hoarders is crazy. Bro.
you got roaches in your life,
Bro, we had a hoarder like a block away from our house a while ago, and then I don't know what happened. Either they moved or they died. But they emptied out a bunch of shit. And then like within a week, bro, we had mice like crazy.
Damn.
Mad mice, bro. Bro, and like within a week, it was an infestation. I remember one day we had a bucket upstairs. Angelique put a bucket up there, and there was like a trap. We caught like 6 in a bucket. And then that night, we still heard 2 running around. I heard the last one die. Dude.
Oh my God.
I heard
it
because there was some kind of poison that like gets them super dehydrated and also like freaks them the fuck out. So I remember like at 4 a.m, I hear a rat or like a mouse in the drop ceiling just going like just back and forth, running back, like fucking running suicides, dude. And then it just stopped, and I was like, I think
getting ready for basketball season.
I think he died, bro. So somewhere in my drop ceiling, there's a little mouse with Air Jordans.
It's little Air Jordans doing suicides.
A little headband.
It's a little
fucking popping around.
It's a little mouse with a 1 foot vertical.
Yeah, dude.
Ratatouille with a vertical.
Ratatouille with a vertical and a mean crossover.
Ratatitty.
I said Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Dude, that's fucking sick, man.
Dude, I get what you mean. I always was into. I was always into the mind, like always. It's how the mind works and like decision making and all that stuff. That stuff intrigued me when I was growing. So I was always asking like those types of dudes like questions, like dudes where you're like, you're not a regular guy like us.
Yeah.
you have way different out there views or not even views, but emotions and feelings that we will never feel.
Bro, I used to smoke with the honor students. And it wasn't even like the honor students. It was this one dude, Dennis, who was a fucking genius, dude. I don't know if you guys ever heard my Adderall bit. This is where I got the Adderall from. You heard the Adderall?
From that kid?
Yeah. Watching porn on Adderall?
Yeah.
I got it from Dennis, right? This motherfucker was a genius, bro. This motherfucker, I remember like people were like learning how to roll J's. People were fucking with gravity bongs, but that's as far as it went, right? This motherfucker had a smart water bottle, right? A smart water, like the long ones, the biggest one you can get. And then he had like all these empty pill bottles from the Adderall that he was prescribed. And he cut holes in them and shit, put tubing through it. He made this whole fucking elaborate thing. Dude, and I was like, he pulled it out of his car and he had like a dub, maybe a dime. And I'm like, what's this? He's like, it's a gravity bong. I'm like, no, it's not. Gravity bong is like, you fucking throw the milk out, you fucking burn a hole through it, pour some water in there, and that's
like,
it.
Watch this.
He was like, nah, bro. He goes, this is what happens. It goes through here, like the smoke, it fills up, it goes through here, cools down in this chamber, goes through this chamber is filled with water, and then it goes through this hose, and then the bottom is filled with water, fills the whole thing up, and then you let it go, and then as soon as you take a hit, he's like, it's like you're breathing air. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's science. That's crazy science.
That's science.
Bro, he did this for fun, dude.
Dude.
For fun.
I was about to tell you that I have a friend who's similar, but he never built a contraption like this. That's insane.
I was like, yo, this
is like the
crazy.
MacGyver guy from Half Baked.
Yeah.
With some fucking shit.
He took his creativity and he went outside the boxes, baby. He's an outside the box thinker, dude.
He went outside the bong, dude.
Outside the bong.
That shit, I never had anything like it, bro. It was beautiful. I remember exactly where I was too. I remember exactly where I was.
You know, you saying this, like I have a lot of weird interactions like that with some smart ass kids smoking weed. I was just way too high to honestly remember a lot of them. Dude, we had this place called The Trap. And it was just like a house filled with like mixed kids. And I don't mean ethnicities or colors. I just mean perspectives and personalities.
Okay.
Like between the jocks.
They're also white.
Yeah.
They're still white, but they're
still white.
No, there was
a black guy there.
Three black guys. Three black guys. Maybe three. Maybe four.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was a little mixed up.
Nice.
It was a different ethnicities
One group,
too.
they're all dressed in black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goth kids. No, like there was between the small, like honor roll students to like fucking athletes to just regular schmoes who smoke weed would all meet at this one house like after school, and people would just fucking get high as shit in this kid's basement.
Word.
Like there would be 3 different bongs going around. People would be fucking dabbing. You ever heard dabbing?
Yeah.
Dabbing, yeah, with
I
the
remember when it
rigs.
first came
The
around.
torch and
Yeah. That shit is fucking lethal.
The first time I saw that, bro, this dude named Josh, we had a little spot, fucking, I'm sorry to interrupt the story, but
tell me.
we were on my boy Gary's house. My boy Gary, he had a bedroom. It was like the attic, but they turned that into a bedroom. It was cool because it was like that triangle room, right? You go in his closet. It's a little walk-in closet. In the back of the closet, there's a door. You open that door up, there's a smaller room with nothing in it but a carpet. He could have got seats. He never got seats. But a carpet, a dresser, and a TV. That's it. The TV was connected to nothing, right? And it was just, my man had a candle in the middle of that room, and we all just smoked, right?
In this, I'm thinking
this little
you
ass
went into
room.
like a little.
It's
like
a little.
You can't
Tell
stand
that story.
up.
I gotta fucking pee.
Yeah, bro. You know what? And fucking, damn, bro, I forgot my point. What were we just talking about? We were talking about
smoking weed in rooms and your friends, and he had a little Gary. Well, you and I say that name differently. I wish I just realized.
Gary?
You say Gary.
Gary.
I say Gary.
Gary.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
say
you
Gary.
do say Gary.
You say Gary.
Gary.
You say Gary.
Yeah,
I
Gary.
say Gary.
Gary.
Like,
Yeah.
I think if I hear Gary, I think of SpongeBob because that's how they say it.
Oh yeah, Gary.
Gary.
No, but you were talking about mixed.
Oh, yeah.
You said mix something.
Oh, I was saying like mixed people and races.
Yeah,
and
da da
like,
da. And then you
all sorts
said
of
you said something that triggered a thought, and then I fucking got lost.
I was we're dabbing. We'll dab it. Dab.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so we're all smoking, and this is like, you know, you're in high school and shit, and like you're smoking and whatever, and there was this one dude named
Quite a few
named
whatevers.
Josh, bro, and he was like the weed guy. He always brought some new weed shit in. He had like a Cali Connect or whatever. I remember one time he was a heavyset dude, bro. He sat right in front of me, right, fucking crisscross applesauce, because no chairs, just
Hell
a big ass carpet. He's sitting there.
Can't stand.
And then he opens it up. He opens up this like this paper, and he's like, "You ever had this?" And I was like, "What's that?" He goes, "It's wax. This is when they called it wax. It wasn't even dabs yet, right?" And he's like, "Just put a little in the blunt." And then I was like, "All right, cool." I saw that, and I was like, "I'm good. I don't want that." Right? I was like, "I'm fine." I like if it looks
goo.
like, yeah, if it looks like weed, it looks like weed. And then one day he came through and he had a whole fucking rig set up.
Oh yeah.
Like the fucking torch, the bong shit. I'm like, "Now what's this, dude?"
Yeah.
I'm just here. I was always the dude. I was like, I'm good after the first blunt. I was never a heavy smoker. I was always, it always hit me way too hard. This motherfucker goes, all right, here we go. Puts the dab shit in, lights the torch, and I'm high. And I'm like, fucking
Crazy.
keep that torch away from me. And then I'm seeing him fucking burn the shit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He takes a fucking hit, a big ass hit, lets it go, and just goes, his eyes start fucking, he's just crying, spits everywhere. I can hear the coughs. Like, I can hear the coughs at first were like, all right, these are coughs. And then towards the end, the coughs sounded like they hurt. Like his throat hurt. It sounded raspier. Yeah, he couldn't breathe. In between coughs, he's going, he's doing this shit. And at the end of it, he's like, oh, man. And he grabs the shit and he goes, you want a hit? I was like, no, dude. I just saw your chest turn into Iraq, bro. The fuck? I don't want that shit at all, bro. Yeah. And I'm talking drooling. He was drooling because he was coughing so much. I'm like, I'm good, bro. Get that bullshit out of here, dude.
We used to hit the gas mask. at my boy's house.
Oh,
we used to go to my
mask.
boy's house. He had like this gas mask. He always had the most craziest things.
Oh hell
to,
yeah! I
to
had a
smoke
gas
weed
mask.
with.
I had a gas mask that color, the purple.
Oh, the purple?
Oh.
No, he had a
purple
green.
gas
That shit
mask.
like a combat
yeah,
gas
it was
mask.
this green, right? Like.
And then he started
like
smoking
neon.
crack, so I don't know why that
yeah,
leads.
nah, I didn't go all of that.
With
I
a
don't
gas
know where
mask?
that leads. Yeah.
Get the gas mask on
Dude,
and started
gas mask
smoking
is
crack.
crazy
Yeah.
dangerous, bro. I had a friend. We would all meet in this trap, and one day this kid took a gram of wax, like on 3 separate rigs, and he was just fucking just hits it hot, sizzling, fucking just cracking. I'm like, there's gonna be a fire. There's about fucking 15 of us in this one little bedroom, and this kid's trying to take a gram of wax. At one point, he definitely didn't take the whole gram. Like most of it spilled off, it burned off. But he smoked a lot of fucking dab, dude. 30 minutes later, this kid's on the couch, like on his back, doing shit like this, and he goes, he was like, "I'm chasing squirrels." I was like, "I'm chasing squirrels." It's like, what the fuck,
dude? No, yeah, I don't wanna get like that. I remember a friend of mine told me that he stopped doing acid because his final time doing acid, I think he did too much, or it was just a bad trip, and he was at the beach at like 5 a.m. while the sun's coming out, and he said he was just going, like trying to get his teeth above his upper lip because he thought his teeth were in the wrong position. He was going, and his friend found him like that. And then he was like, I'm not having a good time, bro. I'm not having a good time. Bro, I could just imagine someone trying to bite off their upper lip,
dude?
at 4 a.m, toes in the sand, thinking they're a walrus.
Acid's serious. My friend got messed up from acid. He had to start taking medicine and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you what happened to me at Austin. Remember I was telling you that the crazy hostel
the
stories?
dude who fucking the hostel stories.
hostel
You never told me about the
stories.
hostel stories.
Can I get another beer real quick before you?
Yeah. Rock another beer.
My bad.
No, that's all right.
Yeah. I forgot about this. What about the dude that you put on your story?
Oh, the guy I told Franco this already. I'll tell you this too.
oh.
No, the guy when we were online for Kill Tony, there was a guy that was on a bike, like a 10-speed bike or a 12-speed bike with the real thin tires, and they were up against the wall.
Oh damn, like old school shit.
Yeah,
With like
they
fucking
were
mad
sitting
gears.
on that thing. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the handlebars that curve.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right. So that's the bike he was on.
1990s.
And he was sitting on that bike and eating a plate of food, like a fucking rice plate. And he was eating the food, and we're online in the back door of Kill Tony, like the back door of the mothership. And
In the alley. Yeah.
we're right. Me and Danny are online. We're pretty far up in line waiting to sign up. And we're right next to the door of the mothership. So there's a cop right in front of us. And then there's a guy on his bike, and he's against the wall. And there's 2 lines. So he's on the other line against the wall, and then we're on the other line in front. And he's sitting on his bike, and all he does is just fucking collapse. All of a sudden, he just collapses off of his bike and just drops. The food fucking splatters
Stiffens
everywhere.
up.
Yeah, no, he just lays
he
down,
lays-
like where he's just out. And then all of a sudden, one of the other comics, I guess that knows him, went up to him and was like, "Hey, are you all right?" And then the cop is standing right
Yeah.
there, so he comes over.
That's not normal.
And he's like, "Hey, are you all right, man?" And like like I said, it's a very liberal town, so the cops aren't like a ball breakers.
Really?
So they really care about your safety. So he's like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Are you all right?" And the guy's like on his back.
They weren't actually asking you what you're on. They were just like, "Hey man, we'll help you."
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like going like this with his hands, and so we know he's alive and shit. But
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
but
going
he
like
was
that. But he's
fucked up.
fucking. He's not talking. He's not responding to questions or anything. He's just like in his fucking.
In his dome, dude.
Yes, and he's just out. And then every time we're like, "Are you all right?" He'd be like. So then they
What do you
fucking.
think he was on, bro?
I have no idea, dude. But
was just really
we were just talking, or maybe we weren't talking, and it was like a breaking conversation where it's like silent for a second, and all of a sudden we hear the bike hit the fucking ground, and him spill, and the food fall down, and half the food fell in his hair.
Jeez.
And shit, and he was just all fucked up, laying there like all retarded, like just he was all fucked up, and the cops, finally they called the ambulance, and the ambulance came. and they fucking put him in a gurney and started taking him away. And
I started him down.
I started a na 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 chant. I just started going na 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 to myself, because every time somebody left or something happened, like everybody got happy because it was like one less person in the mix.
Did they cross him off the list?
Yeah, like if you come out and they call your name and you never respond, then they're gonna call another name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like they get like one guy took a long time to respond, and they were like at the point where they were gonna start. Like I thought they were gonna call like a name, or something, but they didn't. So then because the guy showed up. But when that guy left, we were like, nah. And then the whole way, he's on the fucking gurney on the way to the ambulance. And we're like, nah, the whole fucking crowd got it good going. Nah.
Oh, really? Everyone was saying it? In unison. Everyone.
Yeah, I started that shit.
Oh, that's what's...
Yeah, I fucking started that shit. I did it, and then the guy next to me... No, I did. And then the other guy heard me, and he started doing it, so then I started doing it louder. And then it started spreading, and we all just started fucking doing that thing. Hey. That's funny. Goodbye. Then we got to goodbye, and then nobody did it again. Like it was like na. Hey. And then everybody was like goodbye. And then we all just stopped.
That's good. That was good.
One
Classic.
rip.
That's good.
And I was like fucking perfect.
Clean.
We didn't push it. Yeah.
In and out.
We didn't push it. Then they put him in the ambulance. They stayed there for a while, and then they fucking took off. But that's the whole place. Austin, there's so many homeless people. They're all fucking asking for money on the street in various ways. Some people are aggressive about it. Yeah. Other people are just, come by. So I gave the first lady I saw, she was like in a fucking one of those motorized fucking scooters. And she was like, hey, can you get me a Diet Coke? And she goes, can you get me a Coke and a Black and Mild?
I love that's her go-to. That's exactly what she wanted.
And that was the first walk that I took after I got in and I dropped all my stuff off and I left. I was like, let me go take a walk. And I took a walk and I walked past the mothership and I kept going down to the next block. And on the next block, that lady was sitting on the corner with her fucking thing. She was like, she's like, you got any spare change? I was like, I don't have cash. Meanwhile, I had cash on me. And she's like, can you buy me? She's like, all right, well, can you buy me a Coke and a Black and Mild? They take credit card. And I was like, I don't have a rebuttal. You're a good salesman. I was like, I got you. And I went in. I got it for her. I came back out. I gave it to her. And then I walked away. And in my mind, I was like, you're the last person I'm giving anything to on this trip. Like, I'm already.
She got you, bro.
You got, I was like, you got me, and I feel good about this.
That's wild, bro, because she wasn't even hungry.
No. She's thirsty and she wanted a Black and Mild. That's it.
And
I was like, you know what?
A cookie or
I was like, you know what? I got you. I'm feeling good. I just got here. I'm happy. And then when I walked out of there, I was like, "That's the last person I'm giving anything to." And sure enough,
Black and Mild.
Sure enough, I would have just an ear pod in my ear and not even have it on or anything. And somebody would come up to me and I'd be like, "Hi, I'm on the phone." And then they would just walk away from you.
That's crazy.
They're super approaching.
They don't give a fuck about you, but they give a fuck about who you're talking to.
They were very respectful about the phone conversation. They're like, all right.
They have some empathy. Huh?
Yeah. They just walk right by it. They're really nice about it. But yo, listen to this. So I'm staying in the hostel, right? My second night. The first night I get fucked up. I get so fucked up that I didn't sign up for the open mic because I'm like, this is not going to be my first impression.
Like drunk?
Yeah, I started drinking in the day with Danny. And then Danny stopped drinking. I kept drinking all night long.
Smart boy.
Yeah, Danny's a fucking responsible kid. I kept drinking. So by the time they put out the open mic sign up at 10:30 at night, I felt real buzzed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, not going to be my first impression.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, I'm here for a long weekend. It's fine. So then I woke up the next day hungover. Then I was like, I'm not drinking, but I did drink at night. I just didn't drink during the day this time. And then I drank at night. And then that night I went to sleep and I woke up at 6 a.m. I went to sleep at 2 because I was in walking distance from everything. So I would just get fucked up and then walk home at the end of the night. And I go into the hostel and I'm fucked up and I go to sleep. And then I wake up at 6, and I'm, when you're hungover in bed and you don't want to do shit.
Yeah.
but I fucking had to pee so bad. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I can't wait it out. I was going to try to go back to sleep on it, but I couldn't do it. So I just was like, whatever. I fucking get up. I'm like, let me go to the bathroom. I'm like, fuck. I get up. The bathroom on my floor is broken. It's on the construction, so I have to go to the 3rd floor. So I go walking up the steps. I start walking up the steps, and I see a fucking dry erase marker, a green dry erase marker on the steps with no cap. And I'm like, what the fuck is that marker doing there? I go up to the top of the steps. I get to the top of the steps. There's sheetrock bits, like broken pieces of sheetrock on the floor and a picture frame. And I look at it, and I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? I look up on the ceiling. I'm like, was there an earthquake or something? I don't see shit. Whatever. I fucking turn the corner. This is an old firehouse that they renovated into a hostel.
Okay.
Right? So it's a picture like a school staircase. Right, where there's a landing. It's like all stone steps. Right, but they have all art on the walls. So that's why I was like, where the fuck did this picture frame come? Because all the picture frames are right here for this art. They're all here. And this picture frame doesn't belong here, So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go up the top of the steps, and on the landing, there's writing on the wall, something about something Lily, like a question in Lily. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn.
I turn the corner. I turn the corner into the floor. And there's a bar against the wall where they have a computer, but it's like one of those computers where the screen is the computer. There's no tower. It's actually the whole PC. So that thing's on its face like that, and there's sheetrock on top of it. I'm like, what the fuck? I look at the wall. There's a whole circle like that ripped off of the wall of all sheetrock. I'm like, well, that's where the sheetrock's coming from, but who ripped the fucking wall apart? I look on the ground. There's Ritz crackers with peanut butter, all like just a bunch of them laying around. And I'm like, then there's leaves.
You got life-size mice? What's
leaves from the plant are laying on the floor. And then I look in the corner where the house plant was, and that thing has no leaves anymore. And I'm like, and then there's like mugs, like those cold mugs that have the tops on them that keep the temperature and shit.
Yeah.
So there's 2 of those laying on the ground, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I hear crying, and I hear sobbing, like really hard.
A dream?
No, I'm telling you this. This is what it felt like. This is what happened, right?
Yeah.
I fucking hear this sobbing, right? A woman crying. So I keep walking, and as I'm walking, I see more writing on the walls, and then I get to this part where the hallway opens up, and there's like a little foyer. Now there's all rooms here, and all the rooms have either bunk beds or single rooms, but everything is rooms. I'm just in the main area, walking towards the bathroom and showers in the back of the hallway. And there's this woman on the corner. When it opens up, there's a little couch there, and there's been this little old lady, and I've seen her laying there and sleeping there a couple times, but you don't think nothing of it. And there's a little old lady is sitting there sobbing, bro, boogers all over her face. She's fucking crying. There's tissues everywhere. She just keeps blowing her nose into tissues, and she's crying. And I gotta pee so fucking bad. And I'm like, what's the matter? I'm like, are you all right? I'm like, what happened? And she's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to leave this place, and I don't know what I'm going to do. She's like, I've given my life to this city. I have supported so many musicians here, and I've told them all that they're better than Billy Joel, and I've told them that they're better than Bon Jovi. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, there goes the weed. Yeah. And she's like, I told them that they're better than Bon Jovi. And like at that point, I think the piss, like the having a pee really hit me so hard that it woke me up. And I was like, oh, this bitch isn't talking to me. She's just talking. She's out of her fucking mind. And she's sitting there talking some shit. I was like, I gotta pee. So I walked away from her. I went and I peed, and I'm in the fucking bathroom peeing, and I'm peeing one of the best fucking pees of my life. It feels so good that I'm like, I just went through all this nonsense. And in my mind, I'm like, God, please, if I go back out there and everything is, there's no writing on the walls, there's no lady sobbing, there's no Ritz crackers on the floor, if everything is just normal, I promise I'll never do drugs again. I'll never do any drugs again. I won't drink. I will be sober. That's my deal. And then I went and I opened the door, and it's like God knew that I was lying to him because everything was still there, right? And that lady was still sobbing. But now I know she's out of her mind, so I'm not very empathetic anymore. I'm like, whatever. So I went over to her, and like she's still crying. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to go get some water. You want anything? And she was still babbling about whatever. And so I walked away, and I went downstairs. And then I go into the kitchen, and there's these 3 women there. And the 3 women are like all like disheveled, and apparently that lady was harassing them all night. They had a room upstairs, and that lady was fucking sliding the Ritz crackers underneath the door at them, right? And then standing there trying to open the door with her little toes underneath the door like this. So all 3 of them weren't even there together. They were all there separately. 3 women, a black woman, a Chinese woman, and a white woman.
Oh, that's a movie.
Right?
Wow.
And they were fucking all separate, but they were all terrified, and they all got their money back and bounced.
Oh,
we're not staying. They're like, we're not staying here. And then it ended up being that lady was the one that trashed everything. And I went downstairs because I started to investigate, and I'm like trying to get a hold of the attendant and stuff. So I'm looking at the computer, and the computer has all the cameras on all the floors. So there's 9 cameras.
Quentin Tarantino was filming something.
Yeah, there was 3, and then there was 2, and then the black box on the bottom left corner. It was just black. And I look at all the other cameras, and I'm looking at them. I look at every single one of them and what they're looking at, and I get to the bottom, and I'm like, oh, that's the 3rd floor that's missing. And I go up to the 3rd floor to the camera, and I look at it, and I grab the wire, and I pull the wire, and I look all the wire all the way down, and as soon as I get to the bottom, it was cut. I was like, that fucking bitch cut the fucking camera.
Way.
So that you couldn't see. So then I told.
Why did you have this much access to everything?
Well, because it was just inside, like the front. When you go in, you have to go in by key code.
There's no workers.
There's a worker in the front, but they're not there from, I think it's like 3 in the morning to 8 in the morning, or 4 in the morning to 8 in the morning. There's no attendant there. But they didn't come until like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I sent an email. I was like, hey, these bitches here aren't safe.
There was no one to even supervise the building or nothing?
I was like, they don't feel safe here. So then the girls started cleaning up and shit. And, that was the talk of the fucking hostel for like the next 2 days was like that lady. And then fucking we see her there again. Then like another day we see her sleeping there again. And then I sent another email.
She doesn't stay
I was like, hey,
there?
that lady's back there again. She's a homeless lady.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We all thought that she was, because she looks like a normal, she's not dirty or disheveled or anything.
She lives in the
She
hostel.
just looks like a little old lady. Yeah, but
she lives in the hallways.
She keeps getting in. Everybody thought she was a guest. But she was sleeping on that couch out there.
Damn. Oh, wow.
Right?
Change the code.
Yeah,
Bro, use the fucking code, bro.
So the second time that they popped her, I sent an email in the morning. I woke up, I went back to go to use that bathroom, and there she was sleeping. And I was like, how the fuck did this bitch get in? I'm like, you know what? It ain't my job to police this bitch. I'm not saying shit, but I'm gonna send them an email and say, hey, that lady's back again. Yeah. The lady that trashed the floor. And then they came back out, and then I went back downstairs, and later on that day, and I saw the attendant, and she was like this, sitting in front of the computer like this, and I was like, hey, I don't know if you guys got my email. I don't know if you saw that lady was there. She's like, yeah, I kicked her out already. I'm trying to find out how she keeps getting in. She's like, I'm watching the video. See how she keeps getting in.
That's hilarious.
And then later on, they gave us I came back from the gym. Because across the street is a Gold's Gym.
Yeah,
from the hospital.
Awesome.
It's fucking sick.
That's awesome.
Right? The girls at the fucking gym, amazing.
For real. Austin?
Oh, it was fucking amazing.
Wow.
So then...
let's go, Austin.
So I'm coming back from the gym. I fucking put the code in.
Austin.
Beep. And that shit doesn't open. I'm like, I fucking do it again. Beep. Doesn't open. I'm like, All of a sudden, I hear like knocking. I look up, and the girl in the little area has a new code number. She holds it up like this, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I put the code in, and I open it, and I was like, oh, you guys fucking updated the security.
That's so
this
funny.
bitch.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, there was another homeless lady that was fucking in the. That day that we were all like shook and stuff, and we kept looking outside, And then there was another homeless lady standing outside, a younger one with long black hair.
To get in?
And she was trying to get in, and there was another kid who was like, it was his first day, and he was going to check in, and he had and he was like trying to read the instructions and stuff. Oh. So we let him in. We let him in, and fucking we let him in, and then didn't let her in. Like the girl went over and opened and was like, come on. And then closed the door. Yeah. And then the lady didn't get in. So then I go upstairs later and I'm having my cup of coffee, and all of a sudden here comes the homeless lady. She just walked in. I don't know how she got in. And she sits down with she gets a cup of coffee because, there's like communal stuff. She grabs a cup of coffee and a book.
This is a sick place.
Just a random book. And she sits there and she starts reading the book, and he's drinking coffee. And then all of a sudden the attendant comes in and she's like, excuse me, do you have are you staying here? Do you have a card? And she's like, oh, no, I'm not staying here. She's like, well, then you got to go. You can't be here. She kicked her out. Then the coffee and the book were just there.
Someone keeps giving her the code.
It was crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Someone's giving her. She got someone on the inside. That's just
snoops,
like, all right, here you go.
They're snoops.
But don't come in my room.
I got to wrap this bitch up. I got to get out of here. Yeah, man. It was fun. Austin was awesome. I'm glad to be back in fucking Jersey.
Oh, yeah, man.
And repping the dojo. That was one of the questions. Tony Hinchcliffe was like, where are you from? And I was like, Dojo of Comedy, New Jersey. Like if it's a city. Like if it was a city, right? I was just like, Dojo of Comedy, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And Tony was like, okay, Dojo of Comedy. And then Brian because I had saw Brian Redband. He came out. Remember I told you he stayed with the guy with the fingers? Yeah. But he was right in front of me there, and people kept talking to him. And then when everything died down and like people weren't bothering him, he was smoking a cigarette. I reached in my pocket, I grabbed the Dojo of Comedy sticker, and I gave it to. I was like, "Hey, can I give you this?" And he grabbed it. He's like, "Oh, Dojo of Comedy." I was like, "Yeah, that's Tripoli's club in New Jersey." He's like, "Oh shit, I love Tripoli." He's like, "Thanks, man." And he put it in his pocket, and then I didn't say anything else. So that when Tony Hinchcliffe was like, "Dojo of Comedy," Red Band was like, "Yeah, that's Tripoli's club." He leaned into him. He was like, "There's Tripoli's club." And he was like,
you didn't tell me that part.
Cool. Yeah, it was.
You skipped that part.
That's cool.
There was a lot going on, bro. There was a lot going on.
I can imagine.
But
that's crazy. He set it up. We were all like, "No way!" Like he knew, and
he knew.
He's like, "No, I set that shit up. I made him though. That's awesome, though."
I set up. I put the sticker in strategic places, like in that in the alley that we waited on. There's a no parking sign, and I fucking slapped the dojo sticker right on the no parking sign.
Nice.
I stopped it like in a couple restaurants or like places like in the street and shit. I stuck a couple stickers in Austin.
Fuck yeah, bro. I carry them around me. I keep forgetting to slap them places because like I never.
We got to do it around here, like Morristown.
Yes, we have to do it all Morristown.
Morristown.
I have so many. I carry a stack on me
in the nice fucking weather. All right, I'm fucking wrapping this bitch up. Thank you always to our sponsors, A-Team A-Team Pool Tables, NJNYPoolTableService.com. If you're moving a table, the A-Team are the best pool table movers in New Jersey and in the entire tri-state area. All right, if you're moving a table, you got to call professionals. Don't try to do that shit on your own. You're going to break it. You're going to make it cost more money. If you get a pool table off Craigslist, you're going to need somebody to move it. Call the A-Team. It's NJNYPoolTableService.com. And we got Empire Sewer and Water, New Jersey. They do residential and commercial services when dealing with pipes and drainages. All right, you take big shits. You leave a lot of toilet paper in there. You might need to clean it up. Call professionals.
We got you.
Go to Empire Sewer and Water NJ.com. Call for a free estimate. You're not going to get fucked around with, all right? Then you got Combat Fitness Club in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. They have group sessions, private sessions, one-on-one training with professional boxer Dane Guerrero for Guerrero Combat Fitness. They're in Ridgefield Park on Main Street. You can go to their Instagram page. It's at Combat_Fitness_Club on Instagram, and tell them you heard about it on the VCast, and he might punch you in the face. All right.
Love getting punched in the face.
You might just get punched in the face. No, they're a great sponsor. Dane Guerrero just had his professional debut, and he won via decision. Dropped the guy in the second round. He looked very sharp. Looking forward to his next fight. So you get to train with a professional and other people too, so that you don't get punked out in the streets. Franco Danger, thank you for coming through. How did we reach you online?
Oh yeah, catch me on Instagram, Franco_Danger. Twitch, Franco Danger.
That's right.
Yo, add me on
Playing that
Fortnite.
games, bro.
Franco Danger, baby.
Ping the shoe came in
That's
at the
what's
last
up.
slew.
Vinny the shoe.
Sue, who, moo.
I was like, Vinny lit up a jump. Vinny lit up a joint. I got to give him a mic so he can express himself.
When we closed down, I wasn't going to wait down by myself.
That's what's up. I'm happy. It was a good show tonight. That guy, Casey Salengo. Pretty funny guy. I didn't get to catch the rest of his set, but he started out pretty strong, right? It was a great show. Great show tonight. Yeah. Come to the Dojo of Comedy, tiffscomedy.com. Get your tickets. We got Mark Norman this weekend, sold out. Sorry, you should be on the email list. You'd already know about it. Sorry. But this is going to air on Monday anyway. So, that's it. Thank you very much. Peace out, bitches.
Peace.
You're listening to my dad of the V.